Plaza, and welcome back to Charging Forward.
We hope everyone had a great weekend and also a good St. Patrick's Day.
Hopefully you wore your green and didn't get pinched by any leprechauns.
Yeah, and I wonder how many of you were lucky and caught one.
Oh, I wish the crew was able to catch one, but they are pretty tricky.
Yeah, hopefully not too many mess with our school. They can make a mess at times.
Totally. Well, let's get on to the week ahead.
So this week will be our last week of school.
Last week of school already?
Last week of school before spring break.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah, next week we will be on spring break for 2 weeks.
Man, that is a long time.
Maybe, but it always seems to go by so fast.
True. So what else is happening?
This Wednesday will be a minimum day.
Nice. Parents, please remember that dismissal is earlier on minimum days.
Have you been to the student store yet?
Yeah, I checked it out once or twice. How about you?
I always forget to go. What days is it open?
It is open Tuesdays and Fridays right after school.
Awesome. I have to remember to get there.
Speaking of store, did you purchase your yearbook yet?
No, I need to get on that.
Me too. Remember that you can purchase a yearbook by turning in a form or by going to the website below.
Nice. Gotta get that yearbook reserved. And there are more forms in the office if you need one.
Okay, enough about stores. I want to know what's for lunch.
Me too. Let's head over to Gabriella for our lunch for the week.
Hey everyone, here are your lunches for the week. We start the week with some nachos. On Tuesday, we roast up some chicken with some cilantro lime rice. Wednesday is a chicken sandwich. Sorry, not from Chick-fil-A. Don't forget to put some sauce on that sandwich. Barbecue is great add-on. Thursday brings us some chicken taquitos, and we round out the week with some homemade pizza. Well, those are your lunches for the week. Hope you all enjoy and bon appetit.
Wow, I just got hungry with all those options.
Yeah, they all sound like good options.
I do wish they had cake though.
Yeah, that would be awesome, but cake is for celebrating.
You mean like celebrating birthdays?
Exactly.
And since we're heading into spring break,
Here are all the birthdays for the next 3 weeks.
well, that was a lot of birthdays.
Yep. And when we return back from break, there will be even more.
Yeah, that is kind of true.
So, what do we do next?
Well, let's not walk over to our next segment.
Huh?
You could say we need some space to race to the next segment.
Okay, you're acting weird. Over to history with history.
Actually, my name is Moises, not history. Anyway, some of you may have noticed some loud booms every so often. Those booms belong to rockets launching into space. While today we look at rocket launches as a pretty normal thing, there was a time when it was a huge dream. Back in the late 1950s, the United States and Russia began what would become known as the space race. Each country worked to get satellites and eventually humans into space. This space race helped launch science into a whole new level. scientists from the Soviet Union, modern-day Russia, and the US worked tirelessly to advance space and rocket science. This all led to the eventual launch of a man into space. The Soviet Union was the first to get into space, but the US was the first to land on the moon. Today, we are all looking further out with our eyes on heading to Mars. A really cool thing astronauts get to do is called a spacewalk. This is basically when an astronaut or cosmonaut, as called by the USSR, leaves the spacecraft and ventures into open space. On March 18, 1965, cosmonaut Alexei Leonov became the first human to leave a spaceship and float out into space on a spacewalk. While spacewalks may seem pretty normal now, they are still very dangerous. One of the most known photos of a spacewalk is here. This image shows astronaut Bruce McCandless as he floats untethered from the Space Shuttle Challenger on February 7, 1984. He was equipped with a special backpack that propelled him through space. It is crazy to think of how big space truly is. Well, I can't wait to see what other spaces we will explore next.
Wow, I want to go to space one day.
Well, that totally could happen eventually.
One day, we could be reporting from space.
Yeah, but maybe not right now. I wonder what the weather in space would be like.
No clue, maybe Adon knows.
Yeah, sorry, no idea what space weather would be like. I imagine probably cold and without air, but I can tell you about the weather here on Earth. Tuesday will mark the official start of spring, and our weather seems to be getting the message. While last week got a little windy, we should have relative calm weather for the week. Our temps should be relatively warm but still cool in the morning. We should see some clouds on most days, but the sun will definitely be out to enjoy. The time change has allowed us to enjoy more sunlight later in the day, and our forecast should allow us to enjoy that sun. While the rain was great and is super useful, I am so glad we are finally getting some sun. Spring weather may bring some more showers too soon, but overall we should enjoy this springtime weather. Well, that is your weather forecast for this final week in March.
With spring break coming up, we want to encourage everyone to continue reading. Spring break is a great time to catch up on some good books. And to help you out, we have a few student book reviews. Let's check in with these Plaza readers and see what books they recommend. Maybe you will find a good book to read over spring break. Over to those book reviews.
My Rio reader review today is about a book called Ultimate Jungle Rumble by Jerry Palata, illustrated by Rob Bobster. It's about a bunch of animals in the jungle battling to see who will be the last one standing. I think it was an awesome book. I rate it 4 stars.
My real reader review today is about a book called Clementine by Sarah Pennypacker. It is about a girl who gets in trouble every day of the week. Each day, she gets in worse trouble. For example, on Monday, she cuts her friend's hair off, and she colors her head too. I think the book is good. I rate it 5 out of 5 stars.
Hey everyone, welcome to this week's Teacher Tech Tip. This week, we're going to dive into Google Docs. See, the Authors Fair is coming up, and some of you might be typing up your stories or your books. So I want to show you ways that you can use Google Docs to format papers and format typing. So we're in Google Drive, and we're going to click New Google Doc. Now what that's going to do is that's going to open up a new Google Doc for us. Now in Google Docs, you may notice some things up at top. Don't worry about those. All you have to do is when you're ready to type. So the first thing we're going to do is we need to give it a title. Now, I want to give a title to my story. And when I give a title to my story, I want to center it. So I'm going to use the Align tool to center. I can also change my font, let's say 16. And I'm going to title my story. Now when I press enter, it will be centered up just the same. If I press backspace, it will bring it to left justify. I can also do this in the Align tool. Now, when I'm ready to start typing, I simply start typing. Now, for most of you know, when you start typing and you need to indent, to do that on Google Docs, you press the Tab key. You press the Tab key once and that will indent. After that, no matter what you type, the Google Docs will automatically go to the next line. Now, if you have any spelling errors, they'll underline them in red. You can right-click and find the correct word, or you can go to Tools, Spelling and Grammar, Spelling Check, and it will tell you more than likely the words you want. Now remember, you can also use our text-to-speech under our tools, and we'll find voice typing. Now as we're creating our story, we might get to the end of a paragraph or need to change up how it looks because we might print it and cut it. If you use the Enter tool, you can enter and that will continually break it apart. Then you can continue typing where you need to. Again, if you make any mistakes, just simply right-click and continue from there. Now, Google Docs is a super useful tool. You can create all sorts of things in there, stories, essays, whatever you need. But what's really important is to remember how to format your paper. If you ever need to add your name to Google Docs, make it be on the first line. You can left or right justify, and you can put your name so it's right there at the top. So if you're doing any typing and using Google Docs, remember to use your Align tools and don't forget to tab when you start a new paragraph or a new section. Well, that's this week's Teacher Tech Tip.
Our last episode before spring break.
It's okay. We will be back in a few weeks.
That is true.
So, do you have any plans for spring break?
That's a good question. I don't know what to do.
Well, you have to think of something.
Oh, I know. I heard they have a new Star Wars exhibit at the Reagan Library in Simi Valley.
What? Star Wars? That sounds cool.
Yeah, I know a teacher or two who would totally be into that.
Yeah. Mr. Amano.
Yeah, and cough, cough, Mr. Castillo.
I think I have to think of something to do too.
You will have to figure it out.
Yeah, even just getting in some of that great weather would be nice.
True. Well, we will see you all in a few weeks.
We hope everyone has a great week and an even better spring break.